What's up, MineZ gamers? Brent here with my most in-depth MineZ guide yet. If you've ever wanted to play MineZ for yourself, then you have stumbled across the right video. In today's video, we will be going over some of the most important aspects of MineZ to help familiarize you with the inner workings of the game mode and everything that it has to offer. Let's get into the video. But first, we're so close to 200 subs. And as a reminder, at 200 subs, I'm giving away a free Minecraft account and a free silver rank on Shopbo. Let's get into it. Starting off can be quite a confusing task, not knowing where to go, which spots have good loot or not. So let's go over my personal favorite gearing route. The MineZ map is very large, with an abundance of towns and locations to get you started on your journey in the game. Your personal favorite route will more than likely differ from what mine is. Once you begin playing for a while, you might like the route that I take, or you might like one of your own. But here's mine. First, you will spawn at spawn point number 14, loot the area around there, and then hit the ice river and head straight to Frostbane. After looting Frostbane, I will typically travel to Festival of Valar to gear up on decent food and civilian supplies. Then I will head to Mining Town to obtain iron armor. That is my preference. Another route that I would also suggest would be to spawn in Romero, loot the city for your essentials, and then head straight north without stopping anywhere else to floating islands to gear up there. In Romero, make sure to stock up on plenty of food and civilian supplies, as the city has an abundance of that. There are many more possible routes to take, which leads me into the next topic. If you are ever confused about where you are at on the map, open a browser and type in www.minezmap.com. The MineZ Map is updated regularly and has every single thing you need to know about playing all in one spot. By zooming in and clicking on a town you want to know more about, it will take you directly to the MineZ wiki page regarding the town. There are also toggles for the underground cave system, as well as which locations have what kind of loot chests and where they are at relatively in the city. The Ghost Ship, Gold Standard, and Dungeon Standard are not listed on the MineZ map due to how frequently those locations change in-game. So always remember, if you're lost, the MineZ map is your ultimate guide. I should have covered this topic in my first guide that I made a while ago. However, bleeding and infection are different mechanics that can kill you in MineZ. Bleeding can happen from zombies and by PvP. Curing bleeding requires a bandage roll, or being healed with red dye by another player. Infection, however, only happens from being hit by zombies. It will give you nausea and blindness for a few seconds. It can be cured by a bucket of milk, an antidote flask, or by being healed with green dye by another player. Both ailments can be cured with the Brvnt's remedy, which are fairly common drops from the Brvnt mob. Overall, it is best to keep a bandage and a bucket of milk in your inventory at all times to cure these conditions when they inevitably happen in-game. Now, let's get into what dungeons are all about. Dungeons are quite possibly and controversially the most popular part of MineZ as a whole. I'm not going to go super into detail about any specific dungeon here. However, the main purpose of the dungeon in MineZ is to serve as a fun puzzle / parkour challenge to obtain various types of legendary items. The legendary items you receive from a specific dungeon vary by difficulty. There are 6 difficulty levels or tiers to dungeons in MineZ. The 6 levels are easy, moderate, hard, very hard, extreme, and insane. The easy difficulty dungeons in the game typically lie in the southern spawn regions of the map and offer little compared to insane level dungeons, which are catered more to the seasoned and experienced MineZ player. In a nutshell, dungeons are engaging and offer a challenge to any player who dare step inside. One dungeon I will go into detail about, however, is Maze of the 10th. The reason for the inclusion of this dungeon in the MineZ video guide is because upon completion, you will obtain the legendary Lone Sword item. This sword grants regeneration for 10 seconds, which heals 2 hearts. This is, in my opinion, the best reward for the easiest tier of dungeon. I always carry a Lone Sword with me when I play, because there are truly no negatives to this item. The only negative you could think of is that it takes up 1 inventory slot. That's it. Maze of the 10th is exactly how it sounds. A long staircase followed by a maze. It is located in the mountains just behind Evergreen Manor, and after completion, exits you on the ice river near Pallister. Overall, new and experienced players alike should carry a lone sword with them, as they can be crucial to your survival. There are two different styles of servers for you to choose how you play MineZ. Public, where PvP is enabled, features easier mobs to kill and the public exclusive boss, the Scorched Giant Zombie. On Public, there is a PvP line, where PvP is disabled in the southern regions of the map, allowing you to gear up without the threat of bandits. Supply drops also happen on public servers, which I can go more in depth on supply drops in a later video. Public access is obtained normally. However, access to PvE requires a donator rank, yet offers the best perk of MineZ in my opinion: the ability to gear up and explore anywhere on the map safely without threat of bandits. Granted, on PvE the mobs are slightly buffed to be more difficult, but it is a small price to pay compared to the relative ease of exploring the MineZ map safely. Overall, the choice on how you want to play MineZ is yours, but my personal preference is playing on PvE. The MineZ experience compares to none. Maybe I feel that way because I've played this game on and off for over a decade. Yet, it is one of the few games I will always find myself wanting to play. Regular content updates mixed with seasonal events, mixed with the aura of the game, create an environment for anyone to enjoy. Whether you want to fight it out with other players or take on dungeons with some of the MineZ community, the purpose of the game still remains the same: obtain the best loot possible and survive the apocalypse. Even in 2025, MineZ still remains relevant in the Minecraft gaming world just due to the sheer dedication of the MineZ loyal. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know in the comments below. This is a new style of content that has been very fun to make, and I hope you found it helpful. Thanks for watching.